in my son's house. The first thing he did was he went to the wind company and said, I can't sleep in this house. Would you help me fix it? The wind company said, fine. We know there might be some sound problems. Why don't you get a contractor to fix your house? And Ted says, I'm an engineer and I'm not sure this guy can be fixed. Would you give me the name of some companies that have fixed houses that have low frequency noise coming in their house? I'll tell you a little more about low frequency later. And they said, no, you hunt up your own. We don't want to pick your contractor. You find a contractor that can change your house. So my son did. He went to 3 or 4 contractors, an engineer. He got a couple of contractors out of Chicago that did bids on his house. He was going to go to all triple pane glass windows, solid 4 doors. The one company was going to take all the siding off his house, put a 1/2-inch cork insulation behind it, put the siding back on. On the back side of this house, he has a chimney with glass windows all the way to the top. $86,000 was the estimate my son got to take this house and completely redo it with all new doors and windows, new insulation, new covering. And the contractor that said it, he says, you'll drop your decibels in the house 3 to 5 decibels, and that's it. He said, we're not going to keep that low frequency sound out. He said, I can keep it out, but you have to build a basement, and you have to have about a concrete wall about 3 foot thick, and then we got to put styrofoam in that concrete to keep out the low frequency noise. How many of you folks would like to build a basement next to your house so you can sleep? He doesn't have a basement. It's a crawl space only, but he considered building a basement and go to like a storm shelter. Well, I don't think anybody needs to spend the money for a storm shelter so they can live in their own house that they purchased to live in over the years. The real estate people tell my son this house is probably worth 0. 0, because if you sell a house that has mold, if you sell a house that has termites, the people that buy that house are going to come back to you and say, you shouldn't have sold me that house. You knew you had mold in the basement. You knew you had mold in your thing, or you knew you had termites. Fix the house, and then I might keep it, but I want my money back. The real estate people tell me people are going to want their money back from this house. You buy a house for one reason, that's to sleep in and to live in. But if you can't sleep in a house, you don't need a house. So I'm going to start this machine now, and then I'll open up for questions later. I said I was going to talk about one issue. What was that? Remind me. I just said I was going to mention later before I go to the sound machine. But maybe I'll start it up. I'll think of it later. What I have here. First, I'm going to turn on a recording that was recorded in my son's bedroom by a computer. It was recorded in the bedroom, it's a wolf type thing, and it's not very loud. But I'm going to add to that then a frequency generator that I can generate any frequency from 45 hertz all the way to 100. And everyone in the room here knows what a dog whistle is. You can whistle a dog and the dog can't, or you can't hear the whistle but the dog can. That's a high frequency noise. All of you in the room here, have you ever driven to a stop sign and a teenager pulls up next to you that's got one of these woofers in their trunk, and the windows of your car are shaking, and you can just feel that sound? That's a low frequency sound, and it's louder than what I'm going to produce here. But this feeling that you feel when that car pulls away is, oh my God, I'm glad I don't have to be that kid in that car for the rest of the evening. Right? I mean, that's just what you feel, and this is what you feel in those moments of this low frequency noise. It's just annoying, and we'll start this now. Have any questions before I start? Anybody? It takes a little bit to warm up. I don't know if there's a back to hear that. Here comes the wish-wish thump. What you're hearing there is the blade going by the fixture, causing a little bit of wind turbulence because of the blade that's forced next to the thing at the top. If that's all you felt, that's all you could hear, you could probably sleep. But now I'm going to turn on a 29 hertz. Now I got a fellow in the back. Hold your hand up. He's going to tell. I'm going to shut up for just a little bit. He's going to tell us what the decibel level is right now. 50. Okay. If it's less than 55, tell me to go a little higher. Where are you at?
68, 70.
No. Wait, you got to be quiet for at least 5 seconds to let things settle down.
About 50. 50. 78.
Everybody be quiet. I'm going to turn this thing up. You let me know when I get to 55. people that live close to these things will compare it to a diesel truck sitting outside your bedroom. And then pulsating of the throttle just a little bit. You hear in the background, everybody be quiet, can you hear that? Pulsating just a little bit. You think you could sleep in your room, in your bed, with this going on in your house at night? That never quits. It isn't like the train goes by and in 10 minutes the train is quiet. It's all night. When that thing is cranking 27.5-mile-an-hour wind, and that thing is creating electricity, and that's the other thing I want to talk about. If it's generating electricity, it's probably making some noise. Now, during the day, I'm talking to you, most of you can hear me yet. During the day, you can start your TV up. You can go ahead and iron some clothes. You can turn on the radio, and you can hear the radio, and you're not annoyed by it a lot, but you can still hear it. Yeah, it's in the background. But you can function. But you lay your head down on that pillow, and you want to get some rest. You hear this? That's even impossible. And that's what they're doing to homes in the area. Now, terrain. I'm going to shut this down just a little bit. Terrain has a lot to do with it. When it's July, August, and the corn's 10 feet tall, and the fence rows are all full, and the beams are 4 foot tall, it isn't as bad. I'll give them that. But when is the beams and corn tall? July, August, September? Hell, they're not producing electricity anyway, so what difference does it make? But that's when the wind turbine company, do their sound studies in the summertime, and there's the least amount of noise because of all the absorption of the leaves, the trees, and everything else. But you take the corn off the field in October, you take them in November, and then you get to December, and I'm sure that Ohio's got frozen ground in December. And then you run these same turbines with the ground froze, and my God, that sound bounces off all the frozen ground. The one that's half a mile away joins with the next one. Did you ever throw a pebble in the corn, in a pond, and you get a little bit of wave? If you can throw it just right, that second pebble makes a little bit bigger wave. If you can throw it just right, the third one makes a bigger wave. That's the cumulative effect of these wind turbines. If you're surrounded by wind turbines, and one of them gets shut down, it goes down a little bit, but that sound wave can join the next sound wave and come right into these homes, and they can't keep it out. So it's a cumulative effect. My son's house is probably at the wrong place. It probably accumulates from some of these wind turbines all around, but he's got 10 neighbors that want to move because of the wind turbine noise. 10 out of 119 that are in this county. That's about a little over 10%. And those are the ones that really